Hello everyone! So I wanted to make a video focusing on the top bands that I'm excited to see in 2018. I actually wanted to make this video closer to the beginning of 2018. Some things just kept popping up that I had to dedicate the only time I had to make videos to those subjects. I figure since it's only the very beginning of March, it still constitutes being able to make a video on this topic because it's still very early in the year. With that being said, there's a lot of music to anticipate in 2018, concerts to anticipate, and I'm really excited about it. I didn't really make this like a top 10 or a top 5. I'm not gonna be putting any fillers in here. Like these are all artists that I'm excited about seeing. So first and foremost, I would have said, if I had made this video in the beginning of January like a normal person would have, I would have said Dorothy was an artist that I'm very excited about seeing. I listened to Rock is Dead basically all of summer of 2017, and when I went to see them January 10th, very spur of the moment. There's a much more deserty, free-spirited, hippie-esque vibe to it. It has more of a classic rock. You can hear those 60s and 70s influences more so than you could on Rock is Dead. They have their upcoming album, 28 Days in the Valley, that comes out March 16th. But they're on the Freedom Tour. I had the pleasure of seeing them twice, and I got to hang out with Dorothy both times after the show. So the reason I'm mentioning them here is because if you have a chance to see them on the Freedom Tour, then I highly suggest it. She has an amazing voice. The whole band just has this great vibe, this great chemistry together. Nick Mayberry actually just left. He went back to Australia for a family emergency. I was talking to him a little bit about that. He said no more Dorothy. I don't know if after the fact of him spending time with his family, if he's going to go back. It didn't really sound too promising about his future with Dorothy. And I also asked her, and she said that they found a fill-in for him. It was cool having Nick Mayberry there because he worked with Scott Weiland, but you know, shit happens, and at least they have somebody that can fill in for him and they can keep touring and he can go and have his peace of mind and spend time with his family, which is what he thinks he should do, and I personally would too. Along with the woman theme, I am stoked about what's coming for Halestorm. I saw Halestorm for the first time in 2015 at a festival in South Jersey called MMRBQ. I saw Halestorm perform this past October at Louder Than Life. That was amazing because I had really been getting into Halestorm within the month before I went to Louder Than Life, so I was really excited to see Lizzie. She is just the definition of like empowerment. Like, she is so humble. I always say, if I could sing, I would want Chris Cornell's voice if I was a male and Lizzie Hale's voice if I was a female, which I am. There's no ifs about that, I promise I'm a female. She can go from singing very softly, and then you have a song like I Am the Fire, and you just hear these notes and these noises coming out of her that you didn't think a woman could even make. She just like pushes the scale and is incredible. She can sing the exact same way live. There's like no lack of power in her voice between the studio and the live performance. And it's really cool, you know, it's her and her brother in the band. Lizzie always, you know, gives RJ the spotlight and lets him have a drum solo, and they just like, they look like they're having the times of their lives. They're smiling the whole time. They're so into it. I am looking forward to seeing Halestorm at music festivals again, and they are actually going out on tour with In This Moment, Stitched Up Heart, and New Year's Day. That is going to be a powerhouse of a show. So next, I am very looking forward to seeing the Foo Fighters. They are going to be headlining Welcome to Rockville, which I will be at. They are also going on a tour. I've never seen the Foo Fighters, so I'm really excited about this. Definitely think I like their older stuff a lot better than, you know, the album that they put out recently. I'm not a crazy Foo Fighters fan, but I am taking one of my friends and he really loves the Foo Fighters. I'm also extremely ecstatic about seeing Stone Temple Pilots. Now that they have Jeff Gutt as the singer, his voice sounds very honest to the sound of Stone Temple Pilots they've always had. Chester Bennington, I think, was a good fill-in for Scott Weiland when he was off with the Wild Abouts. They took a long time to find it, and they were very careful about their selection. Like, the song Meadow was great. I've only seen them perform one other time, and that was also at MMRBQ in 2015. That was with Chester Bennington. But unfortunately, I never had the chance to see Scott Weiland perform, which was extremely upsetting. Going off of that, I'm also really excited to see Allison Chains this year. They are doing some festivals as well as going on their own tour. I have never seen Allison Chains play. I obviously didn't see them with Lane Staley. He passed away in 2002. Yeah, I was 6. So no. I've heard the song Stone. I really like that song. I've heard nothing but good things about William Duvall. So basically, Rock on the Range this year, you have Stone Temple Pilots and Allison Chains are playing the same festival. They both don't have their original singers, but it's still Allison Chains, Stone Temple Pilots going to one festival. Like, that's crazy. That's like a grunge music lover's dream, and I cannot wait to go to that. Also, I'm extremely excited about what's coming up for Greta Van Fleet. These boys have been kicking ass. I interviewed Josh at Louder Than Life in October, which is probably what brings you to my channel. I am ecstatic about what is going on for these guys. I recently spoke to their publicist. They are in the studio. There is a new album coming out. It's their first full-length album. Their publicist said to me, I haven't had a band that has received this much of a response from the public since I worked for Van Halen. You don't have a dream career or anything. So needless to say, I'm glad to be on her contact list. I'm hoping for, you know, a bit of a step away from the sound that they've had without completely forgetting it. Solely for the sake of all the trolls who say that they need more originality and to step away from the Led Zeppelin sound. I don't mind the Led Zeppelin sound because Led Zeppelin isn't going on tour and they're not making music anymore. So if there's a new band that's out that sounds kind of like them, awesome. I love the way Led Zeppelin sounds. So, I mean, I don't think there's a bigger compliment you could have in the world than being compared to Led Zeppelin. I highly recommend going and seeing Greta Van Fleet, and you can see for yourself whether you think they deserve the hype or not. I absolutely do. They are definitely the top of my list for new bands. They're just selling out shows everywhere. I mean, if that doesn't go to show their popularity, then I don't really know what you base popularity off of. Also very excited for another farewell tour, which is that of Ozzy Osbourne. I saw Ozzy also at Louder Than Life, and I always wanted to see him. I've been a fan of him since I was little. I really wanted to see Black Sabbath on their farewell tour, but it just happened to be at a time where I couldn't afford it, or they weren't playing anywhere where I was going to be at the time. I like a lot of Ozzy's solo work as well as his work with Black Sabbath. When he played the song Mama, I'm Coming Home at Louder Than Life, I was bawling my eyes out. He's in his 70s and he can still sing. Additionally, I am excited to see Miles Kennedy. I have seen him perform multiple times. I chased him and Slash basically all over the East Coast in 2015 after World on Fire came out. And I've also been at multiple festivals where Alter Bridge was playing. I just interviewed Miles Kennedy very recently. I'm big on Year of the Tiger. I got it a couple weeks early, so I've just been blasting it constantly. Like, I really like it. And it's actually not the type of music that I normally on my own would be listening to, but because it's an artist that I've been listening to for years and respect, I was open to it, and now I love it. So you will too. Another band I'm excited to see, they are more of an up-and-coming band. They're called Them Evils. I saw Them Evils open for the Pretty Reckless in November of 2016 in Orlando. I thought Them Evils were just awesome. They're a trio piece from California. Just have that like 80s metal vibe to them. Like Motley Crue, Iron Maiden. It's fast and it's heavy. It has a classic sound to it. Jordan Griffin, the singer, kind of sounds like Vince Neil to me. When I saw them, I thought he sounded like Motley Crue was like one of his inspirations. Apparently, from following the band on social media, I know that they're extremely into Black Sabbath, and actually were opening for Zach Sabbath on. So they're going to be playing at a lot of the big Monster Energy festivals this year, and I'm excited to see where their career takes them. Finally, last but absolutely not least, I guess I'm wearing the shirt just because I felt like it was relevant. It's kind of more of a dress. It looks like I fell off a boat and like wound up on a beach somewhere because it's all tattered everywhere. So Metallica is planning a 2018-2019 world tour. I saw Metallica twice last year. The show I saw Metallica at in New Jersey, we were up high and on the side. Actually was fortunate enough that exact weekend to see them headline Rock on the Range, and that was just awesome because Rock on the Range, obviously with the press pass, I was in the stadium. I wasn't sitting up on the sides, so I got to be really close. I actually crowd surfed during Enter Sandman. My best friend came with me, and she doesn't even listen to that kind of music. We asked somebody to take down our number, and he filmed us like getting taken off and going, and he filmed the entire thing. Like, you see from like the time that we are picked up until we are like plopped over the fence like with security. That was my first time crowd surfing, and I honestly don't know if I'm ever gonna do it again. And you're like 7.5 feet off the ground. I heard people saying, like, as we were going above, like, don't drop her, and I was like, please don't fucking drop me, like, listen to him. God, people's hands were going in places that they should not have been. In the video, like, you see like there's a part where someone almost drops me and I go down, but then I get like flung back up and I got spun around, and I was like right in front of fucking James Hetfield waving to them. I was like, hello, notice me. Of course they didn't, but it was so much fun. So am I excited about Metallica's tour? Yeah. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way and travel to see them, but if they come right back to where I live again, then I probably will, just because they put on a really good show. I think I've talked enough. As you can see, I could just talk about this shit forever. I want to hear who you guys want to see. If you have like classic rock and like alternative and like grungy bands to recommend for me to go see, especially if they're going to be going to any of the festivals I'm going to be at, comment below, let me know. And maybe I'll see some of you there. Bye guys, thanks for watching.